Uh-oh, you know what that sound means. It means it's lunch talk time.
Welcome to the all-new Lunch Talk Show with Mike and Star Carter.
This show will discuss relationship, family, celebrity news, and much, much more.
So stay tuned, because you never know what the Lunch Talk crew is serving up every Friday. It's Friday, guys. It is Friday. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing today, Mr. Carter?
Oh, doing great, doing wonderful. Getting ready for the weekend, and I think it's Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, ready for the Super Bowl.
So we're already into a new month, February the 1st. So we ain't got but 11 more months left of this year already.
Already, and came in. It's finna leave just as quick as it came.
Yeah, that's how fast these years is flying by. I mean, really. So, guys, shortest month of the year, February. Also, Black History Month. So,
of course.
So, do you have any Black History Month plans? I know last year we did the vegan challenge, the no meat challenge last year for Black History. So, we got any challenges we gonna do this month, babe?
Oh, ain't no telling. We'll probably come up with something. Ain't no telling.
Well, we gotta do it fast.
Yeah, I know, right? Because it's here, right?
It's here. Right? It's right. So we was all prepared for this one because, man, it seemed like this month, like January, just like I really didn't have time to really think about it.
I know it. It just, time's just going so fast.
Yeah.
But hey, that means to let you know, guys, just enjoy your time you got, boys, because it's going quick. It is going quick. Enjoy each and every day.
You have to. You really have to. So what you got going on today, Mr. Carter?
Oh, nothing much. Nothing about sports because I'm not really into basketball. So everybody knows Super Bowl coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, Super Bowl coming up. We want the Patriots to lose as usual. We want them to lose.
Yes.
But nothing, spectacular in the sports right now. So we could go ahead and just go into the main of what's happening.
Okay, so
what's going on? Celebrity news, anything?
Yeah, so only thing that I got this week that was the most exciting thing that I read, to me was the box office Glass. The new movie Glass. I don't know if y'all seen this movie or even saw the previews of this movie. It is starring James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and Samuel L. Jackson. They are the three main characters in this movie that actually has turned into be a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I was surprised that it was a superhero movie, but it's a real good movie though. Real good movie. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very different twist of what you would think of superhero movies. You don't think of you wouldn't think of this movie as superhero movie. You think of, your Batmans, your Supermans, and all your Marvel, your Marvel stuff and your DC comic stuff. But you would never think that M. Night Shyamalan, I think that's how he says his name, has really turned this movie right here, Glass, into a trilogy that actually started in 2000 with the movie Unbreakable. So if any of y'all that go see Glass, you need to start with Unbreakable and you'll really understand what's going on in Glass, because Unbreakable came out in 2000 and me and Mike just found this out, last week? Or whatever.
Yeah, when we watched it.
That I was actually reading an article about it and say, okay, we had already saw Split. So Split came out in 2016 and then Glass. So Unbreakable and Split are two totally different movies that have nothing to do with each other. Like if you look at Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson in 2000, and then you look at Split that stars James McAvoy, these two movies have nothing in common.
No, nothing, because I was surprised that it was a trilogy, because I can, if you see Unbreakable, I can see where Unbreakable play into Glass. Mm-hmm. But Split, that surprised me because it's about a guy with so many different personalities. And, after I saw Glass, it kind of played in. But at the beginning, I did not see how that was going to work. Yeah. I did not see how it was going to work.
And I think that's what made this movie do so well at the box office. So far, it has made $162.7 million in the last 10 days that it's actually been in the box office. I think that's why it has did so good, because if you know about the Unbreakable coming out first, and it took them 19 years to do this trilogy, which it took M. Night 16 years to do Split. It kind of makes you wonder, did he even want Split and Unbreakable at first to even be like that? And he just kind of tied them into each other.
Yeah, he really did. But, overall, I think he did a great job. After I seen all three of them, it pretty much played hand in hand, but that's a movie, guys. You got to watch Unbreakable. You got to watch that at least. Split, because the guy starting in Split, he has a major part in Glass. So yeah, you got to watch all three and all actuality to try to get the full meaning of the whole trilogy. So,
yeah.
And being a superhero movie, guys, wow. Like my wife said, you used to like the Batman, the Superman and stuff. Okay. But this is, to me, is on another level. This is like modern day superheroes. Nobody got bitten by a radioactive spider. Nobody came from Krypton.
Yeah.
It's average, everyday people with special mind controlling abilities, basically. That's what I want to call it.
Yeah.
Their mind, it just shows you the power of the mind. That's what I got of the whole thing. Your mind is very powerful. Very powerful. So if you guys see the movie Glass, you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not going to give you too much on it because I don't want to give it away, but it just shows you the power of your mind.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100% because the guy James McAvoy's character, and if you don't know who James McAvoy is, and I just realized this myself like last night, that he was the guy that played in the movie Wanted. If y'all remember Wanted, that starred Angelina Jolie and had Morgan Freeman in it, even had Common in it. He was the little young guy that worked in the cubicle office, and he teamed up with them or whatever, assassins or whatever. So that was him back in the day, if y'all remember that movie Wanted. But
well, also now don't forget too, X-Men First Class.
Yep.
X-Men First Class.
Yes,
he was Professor Xavier.
Yep.
The younger Professor Xavier. So if you guys love the X-Men movies, look back. Look back at the First Class, X-Men First Class, and he was the younger Charles Xavier. So, the guy, he's been doing real big things.
Yeah. So, that'll put you in the mind of the character, because almost everybody know who Bruce Willis is, and almost everybody know who Samuel Jackson is, who is in everything lately. Samuel Jackson is doing it big.
Yeah, that man is in everything.
He's in everything. He's starred in so many different movies so far. I'm happy for him. I really am, because, I think Pulp Fiction was one of his really main big movies, and then didn't he play Shaft?
Oh yeah, Chef. I love that movie.
Yeah, he played Shaft.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of him, especially being seasoned. You know what I'm saying? He's a seasoned actor. So I'm really proud of his accolades. But anyway, back to what we were saying. I just feel like when you look at Split, the all those different personalities, he's supposed to have 23 personalities in Split. And the 24th one is Beast.
And that's my favorite one.
And that's who they're going to introduce you to in Glass, is Beast. So if you've seen the previews or the trailers for Glass and you see this guy with all these veins and he's huffing and puffing like a gorilla and carrying on, that's Beast.
Yeah.
That's Beast.
A perfect name for him too, because of the way he's acting. Yeah.
He's scaling walls. He's running. He looked like a cheetah out there when he was running.
God, no, that was the funny part.
That was crazy.
That was the funny part.
I don't know if McAvoy is doing his own stunts or if he got a stunt double, but whoever is doing it or however they doing it, it is really good to see. Because like my husband said, it's not your typical superhero movie where you think about, like you said, getting bit by spiders or kryptonite and all this other stuff, or like Batman, being in the what happened to Batman? What made him bat?
Batman,
stumble in a cave, or what happened to him?
Yeah. He lost both of his parents. He seen both his parents get murdered in the alley.
Yeah.
And, he's Bruce Wayne with billions of dollars. And he could afford to make all these little fancy gadgets and trinkets. So he decided to fight crime.
Yeah.
And he just basically put it upon himself to fight crime because he's seen his parents get murdered. So that was one of his things he wanted to do. And he did it, and came the Dark Knight.
That's cool. I like that too. That's one of my favorites. I like Batmans. All the Batmans usually are my favorites, especially the one with the Joker. with the one
Heath Ledger,
with the Joker that died.
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
right? Heath Ledger. The very sadistic Joker.
Yeah,
yes.
That was the best.
That was the best one. Yeah, that was the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
that's the Dark Knight. Yeah,
he was so believable. Man, he was so believable. But back to what we were saying though with Split. So to get on to our main dish today, guys, I just wanted to set the tone with the Glass movie. So our main dish today is we're going to talk about what is dissociative identity disorder, aka multiple personality disorder. So this is a real thing, guys. I know y'all heard of people saying, "Oh, you got different people living in somebody." Or
they love using the word bipolar.
Oh, Bible. You know, multiple personal disorder where you know people just flip or they different people. But this is a real thing. I know Glass. The movie Glass, M. Night, he did a really good job with making the movie Split and now Glass. But this is a real, true health issue or mental health issue that is plaguing the world as we know it. And a lot of people don't realize this, but I was reading in the People magazine, according to the Calvin A. Ross Institute for Psychological Trauma, more than 3 million people in the U.S. suffer from dissociative identity disorder. DID is a short for it, known as multiple personality disorder. So does that number shock you, babe? When I say 3 million people in the U.S. alone, not worldwide, but just in the United States suffer with DID.
No, that explains a lot. Why people in the United States are so freaking crazy. But nah, I'm just sorry, guys. I ain't gonna say that because no, she's right. But no, it's not surprising because of the fact that so many people have been abused at an early age or whatever like that. That's where most of these multiple personalities come from. It's like, your mind takes on a different persona to deal with the tragedy that you're going through. Mm-hmm. Either it's a protector or you're trying to relive a childhood that you have missed. I feel that that's where it comes from. So, no, I don't think so because the number doesn't surprise me because, like I say, a lot of people go through a lot of things and they just handle it different. So, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a number, but, no, it's not surprising.
And that's what they say, about this statistic. They say, more than 3 million people in the U.S. suffer from DID, which is most often triggered by childhood abuse. Just like you said, that's the trigger in most of the cases. And even in the movie Split, and then we find out in Glass that was the reason why Beast, his 24 personality came out. That was his protector. Yes. Because he was being abused. Kevin is the actual real person out of the other personalities that growed. This guy in Split, and like I said, also in Glass, he was a child. He was a woman. He was an intellect. Mm-hmm. He had so many of them, especially not in Split. He didn't show as many of them. No. But in Glass, he showed a lot more.
A lot more. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The only one I didn't see in Split was the actual guy. Kevin. Yeah. They really didn't, dwell on him much in Split.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit of the Beast. They mostly dwelled on the little kid and the guy that was abducting the young girls. Mm-hmm. Mostly the lady.
Yeah.
The lady.
I think the guy was Hedwig or Dennis. Dennis was the little boy, right? Was he the
Hedwig was the little boy, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was the little boy.
Yeah,
Patricia
it was so many.
The woman. Patricia was the woman.
Woman. I bet y'all like a man playing a woman. Yeah. He was a woman too.
That was one of his personalities.
That was one of his personalities. So, and we come to find out that Kevin, mind went to Beast as his protector. So when Beast was doing things, he was only doing things to protect. And Patricia was more like the mama.
Yeah, she was more like the I would say the calming factor. Mm-hmm. She was more the guru. She was always trying to figure things out to put all the personalities in perspective. Like the little boy was saying that, Miss Patricia said, I control the light now. So she pretty much was the one in charge, basically.
Yeah. I got that too from her. So, but we keep talking about the movie, but there is actually a docu-series that just aired on A&E. So this is real stuff, guys. It just aired on A&E. It just came out. The first episode just came out on January the 22nd. It's a 6-part episode, a docu-series called Many Sides of Jane. So Miss Jane Hart, she is 28 years old. She has actually got diagnosed with this dissociative identity disorder 3 years ago in 2016. So she actually suffers from this same multiple personality disorder that is being described in these movies Split and in the movie Glass. She actually lives like this. They have actually found her to have 9. They are aware of 9 different personalities that live in this 28-year-old. 9 different ones. And she has a range in the age of 6 through 28. Mm-hmm. And the source that I'm getting this from is from people. One of them is named Janie, that's 6 years old, that has no memory of the abuse that she went through. She has one called Beth, that's 10, who protects the other younger identities. Jaden, that's 11, who holds most of the physical pain from her abuse. Alexis is 17, who's confident and boisterous. Madison is 28, a strong-willed lesbian who serves as the protector for all of them. Jerry, who holds the anger about her abuse. Ashley is 19, who only recently revealed herself. Jeffrey, the only male and still a mystery and a new nonverbal identity who's as yet unnamed. So those are the ones that she knows about that's going on in her. And she's been married. She's got 2 kids. So I am interested in seeing this docu-series, because I think this is, when we think about multiple personality disorder, we think about the craziness. But I'm just thinking about, like you said, the power of the mind.
Mm-hmm. That just lets you know how powerful the mind really is.
Yeah. When you look a little bit deeper and not just look at the surface of saying, oh, that person just crazy, just think about how powerful your mind is, that if you go through enough trauma, that your mind will shut it off. It's a defense mechanism. If you think about it, it's a form of a defense.
Mm-hmm. Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And it is good. It's very interesting, because it just lets you know when they get into these different personalities, guys, their appearance change, their size change, their voice change. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of cases, one personality is not aware of the other and what the other one is doing. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people say, I didn't do that, or I don't remember doing that, or something like that. That's, a good example of the split personalities when they take over. You could be a murderer or on one personality, and the next one you could be a saint. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting it out there because that's how it works. You take on the persona of that personality. Yeah. If you're a 9-year-old child, you will be a 9-year-old child. You have no mental capability of an adult.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. That just lets you know that these people, you may say crazy, but to me, they're not crazy. Their mind have reached a pinnacle point that our mind can never reach. I mean, a guy that turns himself into the beast, so to speak, this guy can flip a car. But when he gets in another personality, he can barely live probably 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. That just lets you know when your mind tells you to do something that you're very capable of doing it. Mm-hmm. And that works in real life situations. Like, say, for instance, someone tells you can't be an athlete. Mm-hmm. Okay. You put it in your mind, say, oh, yes, I am. I'm going to be this athlete no matter what. Yeah. And guess what? You're going to do what it takes to become that athlete. Or a rapper or singer or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just lets you know, guys, your mind is powerful. Your mind is very powerful. Your mind can control your very essence. And I know it does. I mean, we're not talking crazy here, but we're just talking about the split personalities. Your mind can control, everything, your whole outlook, your whole actions, strength, determination. Your mind controls it all. All.
Mm-hmm. You absolutely right. Cause, even in the Bible, it says, as a man thinketh, that's how he is. That's what you are. So like you said, even if you put it in your mind that you're going to be the best athlete there is, and you set that goal and you put that in your mind, and that's all you know, and that's all you focus in on, then that's what you're going to be. And that's just true. That's just facts right there.
Exactly.
Because they say whatever the mind of a man can believe, they can achieve. So,
Exactly.
I mean, it's the truth. That's just like you have the strongman contest. You see those guys picking up those big old bouldering weights and lifting up boulders and all kind of stuff. And you be like, wow, how are they doing that? They had to train their mind. I mean, because you can only build your body up so much that I think you got to have at least a part of your mind to say, I can lift this.
Yes.
I can lift this. Like you was telling me, after we was leaving the movie, Seeing Glass, you was like, babe, I mean, that's true, because a lady, who baby
was trapped under a car.
Yeah.
And she actually flipped the car over to get her child out.
Yeah.
It's just your mind. And you put in certain situations,
Yeah.
your mind take over, and you forget about what's supposed to be reality or supposed to be logical.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little away from the split personality because we just letting you know how powerful the mind is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's different with the split personality because you got different people living inside your head, basically.
Yeah.
But we're just telling you that these people have control over their mind so much that, when these personalities take over, they are living the lives of those people.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
And it's amazing, like you said, about how, even in this documentary right here that I've been reading, that she has lapse of time that she don't remember. So like you said, when these personalities take over, she does not know it. She has times in her days that she does not remember what she did in that time, which makes it very difficult for her to hold down jobs, she says in the article, because her younger self might pop up. She could be she could be working at a desk job somewhere in a professional setting, and the next thing you know, 6-year-old Janie might pop up.
And see, just taking a little break from that, going away from the whole situation. Well, man, can you imagine having those like split personality, right? And one of her personalities is a lesbian, right? What if she's in a serious relationship with a guy, and that lesbian personality comes out? I mean, what would you, how would that?
She would definitely have to be in a relationship with a person that understands her disorder.
Yep.
I mean, they would have to be very understanding
Got to be.
Because think about it. You're looking at it on that end, but think about it. If it flips out, he could be with a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and then, if they're trying to be intimate or something, she'll freak out. Like, why are you touching me? Or whatever,
Yeah, a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old,
Yeah,
and
so
she's a 10, 11. I mean, she's different ages.
Yeah. Can you imagine though going through that though? You're laying in the bed with your wife or whatever, and then this lesbian counterpart comes out, and she's like, "What are you doing in my bed?" And you're like, "Huh?" I'm dating women. I don't date guys, and that'll be something to
like I said,
to deal with.
That would be rough, but I really think that the child part would be
rougher. Yeah, you're right.
I think the child part would be rough because that child could, like you said, just like in the movie Split, when he takes on that child persona that he does, he sounds just like a little boy.
Yes.
So when she takes on this little girl part of her personality that remembers the abuse, she could get on the phone and call the police and be like, I'm being abused. I'm being sexually abused and this is her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's a crazy, guys. We know we're on a relationship thing, but that's what we do on Lunchtime. We talk about relationship, but we own split personality, but we had to bring it there.
Yeah.
Because we had to bring it to that part because can you imagine though, your mate having these personalities and you're having to go through these things with them, and if the police are called and, the police come to your home, I mean, how would they act?
How would they explain?
Yeah.
She's
9.
Back.
Yeah, she's 9 or however you say she was, 8, 9.
Yeah, she's got a 6-year-old in her,
6-year-old,
a 10-year-old, and 11-year-old,
and
a 17-year-old.
Can you imagine explaining that to the cop? Yeah, can you imagine explaining that to a cop?
I mean, at the time, I don't even know how you would.
You at a loss.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. I tell y'all, when I get tongue tied, I'm flabbergasted because I don't really know what to say. I mean, really, that is a good question.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, because listen at this, guy, starting at age 3 until she was 17 years old when she left home, she was emotionally and physically and sexually abused. So between 3 and 17, she knows that she was sexually, emotionally, and physically abused by someone in her family that she said is still alive now. But she has not confronted her abusers. No charges have been filed and nothing like that. And she's estranged from her family. She won't discuss the details other than to say that they're not dead. So, and she's got Jaden, who's 11 years old, who holds most of the physical pain from her abuse. So Jaden could pop up at, in her episodes or whatever, whenever her personalities change, and she could be being intimate with her husband or if she got a boyfriend or something like that, because I think it says she was divorced. But that person could pop up and think, like you said, that they're being abused. Yeah, and reliving that pain that she went through when she was younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a serious situation.
It is a serious.
Yeah, that's a serious situation. Serious. And guys, this is real life stuff. This
is real.
I know the movie Split and Glass and all of that good stuff. It is a movie, but this is a real documented case, and it's over 3 million. You say
over 3 million.
3 million people,
according to the U.S. Ross Institute for Psychological Trauma.
Yeah, it's in the U.S. that suffer from this disorder. I mean, guys, it's a serious thing. And, like we said, we know we was talking about the movie, but this is a serious thing. Can you imagine just having to go through that or live through that, and having to deal with that? And it's a sad situation, but, I admire, the brain. That's why I keep going back to that, because I admire the brain's ability to actually do that. And, it's amazing to me, but this is a real life thing, guys. It's a real life thing. Multiple personalities. I know we think we know a lot of people out there with multiple personalities, but no, guys, they're not. We, like I said earlier, we may call them bipolar or this guy's crazy or whatever. Yeah, they just might be, but the multiple personalities, you actually taking on a whole different personality, a whole different persona. Mm-hmm. Your mate is not your mate. Your wife is not your wife. Your husband is not your husband, at that particular moment when the other personality comes, so guys, it's a serious thing, and that's why we wanted to bring it to the forefront and talk about it a little bit today.
I was reading that it says the more stress she feels, the more likely one of her parts will take over, sometimes for hours and up to 15 times a day. So can you imagine if her stress level, and I don't know what would be her trigger point as far as her stress, but it can go on for hours up to 15 times a day. So can you imagine just flipping these different personalities, like I said, now we using the movie Split and Glass, because you see it in those movies. But this is a real lady, Miss Jane Hart, that is actually living through this from day to day. And not only that, she's got 2 little boys. One that's 8 and one that's 5.
And I know it's tough on those guys, especially when all this stuff is start happening and different people coming out. They don't know how to take their mom. I mean, that's a tragedy really for the kids, and they having to live with this stuff, man. I mean, it's something to go through. Yeah. I'm just thankful I don't have to go through it, but that's something to go through, man. Just think about it, guys. Her kids going through this.
But she actually say in the article that they are a stabilizing force for her because she loves motherhood. And the kids say that they don't actually notice the shifts in her personality.
Well, that's a good thing.
And she says that I tell them, Mom's got a unique brain. And some stuff happened to me when I was little that affected the way it works now, says Hart. So, but doctors have assured her that her DID, that's what they call it now, Dissociative Identity Disorder, poses no danger to the boys. Because in her mind, she does not want them to experience the abuse that she experienced. So she is like, the doctors really don't believe that she's a threat to her children.
And see, that's just sort of, I mean, it just, that's a good thing because like, going back to the movie Glass or Split, whichever, one of his personalities actually was killing people, killing young girls, and the other personality was not aware of it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing that one of her personalities is not that violent, because if they are that violent, there'll be a danger to other people and not knowing,
Yeah.
And I don't know how would you, define that in, like if something does happen in a court of law or whatever, I would say,
Yeah.
I mean, would they actually like put her in a crazy house or something? Because these people are, I can't say normal because of the fact that, like I said, I respect the brain and I think they got a higher intelligence and brain control than we do. But I don't think, that, not being aware of what you're doing really diagnosed with this, guys. Not saying you just blacked out for a minute and you killed somebody, not saying it like that, but you're not really aware of that personality and what that personality is doing. I don't think jail would be the proper place for them. I know you guys might say I'm crazy, but no, you just got to look at it, guys. These people are really diagnosed with this thing and, they are not responsible, at that particular time. Well, that person is not responsible for the other person that's living inside of them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I really think that the ones that really do have the disorder that's legit, I feel like it's so many people that have used the insanity plea as a cop-out way to get off.
Exactly. See, that's what I was saying.
That has saturated
exactly.
the court system with it. Yeah. That the ones that really do have it, they probably have a hard time proving it. They probably got to have documentation from where before they even had a violent outbreak to show, well, look, she was diagnosed or he was diagnosed with this back when they was a teenager. And then maybe they have a psychotic break where they actually do hurt somebody. Hopefully it don't go as far as killing them, but say if they do go as far as really hurting somebody, and you really know that this person had already had this going on the whole time. It ain't like, oh, I blacked out like you said and I done killed somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
And that's what a lot of them like to do, with just plead insanity and you get off. You just go to a mental hospital, you spend the rest of your and see, and I think that's it's just one of those ways when my grandma said one bad apple spoiled the whole barrel type of thing, because if you think you can go out there and just kill somebody and plead like you crazy and that's gonna get you off, then man,
yeah,
come
I know,
on,
right? Yeah.
So that makes it harder for the ones that really are suffering with a mental disorder. You know what I'm saying, per se. But I'm pretty sure this lady's psychiatrist and whatever else team that she may have, especially now that she has an actual docu-series that's going to be on the popular show A&E network. I'm pretty sure that she's got a good team of people that's making sure that she's safe as well as her kids, Yeah. But everybody don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
That have this disorder, because 3 million people
guys
don't have that luxury. And I tell you right now, just for the little time that I worked in the healthcare field, we have really need to tighten up on our mental health patients, really. Because I've seen it before.
Yeah, the United States done dropped the ball when it comes to mental.
A lot of people running around here don't need to be running around here.
And on that too, on that note, with people are not trained to do that. Like police officers. Not trying to spark up bad stuff, guys. But it's been a couple of situations that police officers have actually killed young people. And they are mentally challenged. They have these mental disorders. See, the United States, we've dropped the ball on that, guys. Police officers or whoever else, it's not really trained to deal with that type of thing.
Yeah.
And just think about it. Multiple personalities. They're not trained to deal with that, so they don't know how to handle it. The first thing they'll do, is probably try to harm them or whatever instead of trying to work with them and trying to figure out what's really going on,
Yeah.
So, we really dropped the ball on that. And you're right. We need to tighten up a little better on that, get people trained. That's why we're doing the show, guys, to make people aware, and that's what I think, it takes sometimes to bring awareness to the situation, that way you have another way of looking at things. Like we saying, guys, you just can't go out there and do something wrong and say I'm crazy and black out. No, we're talking about people with real mental issues. That's what we're talking about, guys. It's not a laughing matter. We keep it fun on Lunch Talk, but it's about bringing awareness, guys. That's what we're doing. We're trying to bring a little awareness to these type of things.
I agree with you 100%, because like you said, we like to make a joke about, like you said, the bipolar and stuff like that. But 3 million people out here in the world are suffering from this. So this is legit. And with that being said, if you got people around you that have time that they lost and they can't account for time, and you know they ain't no drunk, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, you get drunk, you might black out. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know, they ain't drunk. You know, they ain't smoking no kind of thing or nothing, or shooting up or snorting up nothing that could cause them to black out. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about when people are really outside of their character. And you know that's not them. Because even this girl said right here that her friends say that they think that this happened to her around the time that she was 9. That this started happening to her when they started actually documenting. Now think about it now, guys. Just think about it. This girl's 28 years old now. And she just got diagnosed 3 years ago. So with that being said, they can remember times all the way back to she was 9 years old.
That she was actually, you know,
flipping back
and forth between personalities.
Yeah. So that means she went almost over half of her life undiagnosed.
See, that's a sad situation. That's just letting you know what we were saying, guys.
Yeah.
You know, the United States, boy, we dropped the ball on that type of stuff.
For 20 something, you know, like 19 years, didn't nobody know that she had it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not even trying. So how many other people are walking around here like this and we done dropped the ball because we don't know. We just think, oh, that girl, she crazy.
She crazy. That's the first thing.
You know, that's all we say.
United States, we quick to say that. Ain't
We'll say that in a minute.
We'll say that in a heartbeat.
But if you know somebody that 1 minute, they are cool, they the sweetest people that you ever know, and in the next minute, they is a monster, they might have it. And it just might be undiagnosed. Or they might, or they could be childlike. Or, I mean, they may think that they could take on the world. You don't know. Really, you do not know. It really could be that they have a personality disorder.
Exactly. Yeah. And guys, like we saying, it's a real thing.
And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Especially, you know, you got somebody that is sweet as pie. You could eat them up 1 minute and in the next minute they could be mean as a rattlesnake for no reason. For no apparent reason. This could be what's going on. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, because the guys, 3 million people. 3 million people. And like I said, and I'm willing to bet a good half of those, if not more than half, is undiagnosed. And you're exactly right. You are exactly right. So that's just the 3 million. I mean, you think about it, that's just the 3 million that they know about. Mm-hmm. Just think about the ones that don't. And there's a billion, is more than a billion, there's billions and billions of us on the earth. Yes. So this is just the United States. So, I mean, it's scary when you think about it. It really is. It's scary. So like you said, that's awareness. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's what we're trying to do. That's it. That's awareness. Trying to bring awareness to it, guys, because it's a serious thing. And, you know, like we were saying earlier, you know, we talked about the movie Split a lot, but, you know, we're just trying to give you an example of how this thing is and how it's being brought to the forefront. And I commend the director for that way back then in those days, because of the fact that he is bringing awareness to this in his own way, letting you know how powerful the mind is, and the mind can control you, you know, a lot worse than we think, you know. Yeah. So, you know, and it's funny because, you know, well, I say that just by saying it for a saying, but not literally funny, but like one of his personalities, you know, needed a needle for diabetes. How that works, I do not know. Mm-hmm. I do not know. One of your personalities can have diabetes that need insulin. And then your next personality to be a completely healthy person. This is the person in the same body. But one has a medical condition, another one don't. That just lets you know the mind can control sickness. Your mind can control health. You know, so that split personality things, guys, it's like serious. People that are hypochondriacs. Yeah. That think that they get everything. Yeah. In their mind, they think they see like if I used to work with a lady that was like that. I kid you not. I used to work with a lady that when if you said if you said you had a headache, oh, my head about to split off. Or if you said, oh, my elbow hurt too. Uh-huh. Yeah. And you see her holding it and stuff like, I mean, like literally, if she get a pain, I got cancer. What? I'm like,
you better be careful with that stuff.
That's how she was. I mean, like, for real, any little pain, I want an MRI, I want a CT scan. I think I got cancer. Any little thing, like, for real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, be careful with that stuff, guys. Because
really,
whatever your mind, we always talk about perception. Whatever your mind perceives, now your mind is powerful enough to make it happen. I mean,
that's just like people thinking that I seen a docu-series where women really felt like that they were pregnant, and they would take on symptoms of pregnancy and weren't pregnant no more than the man on the moon. But and that's a country expression, but no more than the man on the moon was they pregnant. But because they had put it in their mind, their body, even their body started shaping like that. They was rubbing and they was nausea. They was going through all the pregnancy symptoms and wasn't a bit more pregnant than nothing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And back to the movie Split again, not Split, but Glass. When the guy took on the beast persona, this guy actually, I'm talking about, he got huge, started having veins everywhere. His eyes got dark. This is the same body that the other personalities don't have all these features. But when he took this specific feature, guys, his whole outlook of how he looked changed. It was amazing. It's amazing.
I think that really happens to people though. I feel like their demeanor, they may not like me. They, I don't think I'm a bulk up or whatever if I had a different personality, and I think I'm strong. But and I know that Hollywood exaggerated a little bit, but I feel like their demeanor, something about them would change, just like him going to a child. And you acting like a child, and you putting on a child demeanor, or you turning into like you said, she has a lesbian persona, so maybe she might, if she's a more of a butchy light lady or something like that, or she's walking around like she's real manly or something all of a sudden, or say one of her other personalities is a guy, so all of a sudden now she's holding her crotch, or just just stuff like that. You be like, what is going on with you? Why are you acting like this? And you're like, what's up or whatever. Even may even go into the man's bathroom.
Yeah,
because they might think they're a man.
Yeah, she's in that personality, yes. So it's
something.
Yeah, that is something. That is something.
So, guys, if y'all want to check this real life docu-series out called Many Sides of Jane, you can see it on A&E on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. A new episode is actually coming on this Tuesday coming. So that'll be the third episode. Like I said, it started on January the 22nd. And I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see it. I hadn't looked at any of the episodes. So I want to see it.
That's going to be interesting.
I really want to see it.
Interesting, guys.
And it's like 6 episodes. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, yes it is. And I'm like you. I'm going to have to sit down and watch it with you.
Yeah. Because, like we said, we're talking about the movie. And, a movie can be Hollywood up, they special effects and all this kind of stuff. But this is a real lady. This is a real 28-year-old lady, a mother of 2 young boys, 5 and 8 years old, that is really dealing with this from day to day.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you check it out, guys. Make sure you check it out on A&E. Check it out.
Check it out and let us know what you think. You can hit us up at lunchtalkshow@gmail.com. Or if you have ever experienced this before, we
talking about for real, guys.
Yeah, I'm talking about for real.
Not the fake bipolar or whatever.
I'm talking about for real. If y'all know anybody or anything like that, you don't have to give any names or anything like that because of privacy. I understand. But if you had to deal with this in your own family, or if you know somebody that had to deal with this, just hit us up at lunchtalkshow@gmail.com, because we just want to know, how do you deal with it?
Yeah. How do you deal with it, guys?
How do you deal with that? It's got to be hard.
It's hard. I know it is. I haven't been through it personally, thank God. Yeah. But guys, we can imagine it is hard, guys.
It's got to be hard.
It is hard.
All right, babe, you got anything else you want to say on the show?
No, that's about it, guys. But we're just trying to bring a little awareness to the bipolar. Excuse me, I started to say it myself, bipolar, but no, by the multiple personality, guys.
Yeah. So, thank you guys again for tuning in. And like I said, this is just our little tip. Just be aware. Just be aware, and we try to help each other. So if you know of anybody that is that might be suffering this dissociative identity disorder, also known as the multiple personality disorder, please try to get them some help.
Get them help. That's the most important thing.
Because you don't want nobody to get hurt, and you don't want them to hurt themselves.
Exactly.
That's the main important thing, is making sure that they don't hurt themselves or hurt anybody else. Because when they take on these different personalities, they are different people. They don't know what they're doing.
Totally different.
They don't know what they're doing. So it really is serious business. So let's make sure that we take care of each other,
That's it, baby.
Everything we can to take care of each other. So, all right, guys, you can always check us out on Radio Public, because when you check us out, that what supports Lunch Talk with the Carters. Oh, Lord, Lunch Talk with Mike and Star.
Yeah, okay.
Lunch Talk with Mike and Star. We'll get it one day.
Yeah.
Also, you can check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and a whole bunch of others, iTunes, Google Podcasts. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend and
enjoy the Super Bowl.
And go Rams.
Go Rams. Please beat the Patriots. Please beat the Patriots.
Go Rams. And if y'all got any great dishes that y'all going to be serving up for the Super Bowl, tag us in it at Lunch Talk Show. Just tag us so we can see what y'all eating.
Yep. What's going on?
What y'all eating? Just tag us at Lunch Talk Show. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Peace.